Hello and welcome to the ESL One Hamburg closed qualifiers, China qualifiers. My name is Nomad. I'm here with Mo Farah, and we are very excited to bring you Team Serenity versus Team Newbee.
Yeah, it's a big one. We've seen a lot of these teams recently. You know, a lot of these Chinese teams have been playing each other quite a lot. So it's I'm interested to see how they've adapted to each other over time. See what they can bring to the table now. See what they can do differently. And yeah, it's a really good game to look forward to. This one.
Absolutely, yeah. Serenity and Newbee, both TI attendees, and you know, there's a lot of talk about China kind of developing its own meta in a sort of way. So I'm really excited to see how they've progressed since the TI era and what these teams are getting up to now. And we're actually well into the draft, so let's jump into that right away. And we have this Io, Gyro, Bane, Mirana lineup from Serenity. Talk to me a little bit about this. So obviously you got the Bane and Mirana combo going on, and the Io, Gyro combo. It feels like a very synergetic lineup.
Yeah, it's the Io Gyro is just a classic at the moment, isn't it? You know, we've seen this in so many different games. And so it's no surprise to see it picked up here. Yeah, I like the Bane with the Io. So I think this, I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure Io Bane's the most picked duo in the history of Dota.
I can see that makes sense because, you know, Io, the downside he has as a support is that he does lack that stun. He does not have any lockdown. And then Bane, on the other hand, is just he's a lockdown daddy. He's just like, yep, yeah, you get in that stun.
You can set up really well for the relocate. I like the pairing with the Mirana as well. Obviously, you have the Nightmare into the arrow. So there's lots of good synergy going on here. I like Newbee's plan, though, with the Gyro. Because they had this mapped out instantly. They picked the Gyro straight away when they picked the Morph instantly when they saw the Io Gyro. So obviously this is something they're comfortable with. It's something they've been practicing. We'll have to see if they're confident though, because I feel like Morph's one of these heroes that you really have to be on it with that hero. You have to really feel yourself. I think more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Like but you know, I think Newbee they're comfortable playing around these heroes. But Prophet, Prophet's a good hero actually. he's one of these guys who we see kind of floating around the meta a little bit, and he offers global presence. He offers a lot of damage in the laning phase. So although his skill set doesn't look fantastic for the laning phase, he makes up for that in his raw damage with the treants as well, helping out with that harass.
I think it's going to be a position 5 Nature's Prophet, I would assume. As like a babysitter for the Morph. But the thing is, they can keep it open still. This is why they've left for their last pick. They've left it so that they can pick an offlane, or they can pick a position 5. You know, it's up to them. Just see the rest of the draft first. I like this Queen of Pain pick. I think they needed a hero that played the map really quickly, that comes online, makes space for the Morphling. Just gets things done is the most important thing when you have a Morph on your team. You need a core that can really just play the map quickly and just go crazy.
Yeah, and the mobility on this team is what's screaming at me right now. You know, like Gyrocopter, he's a pain because he's got that movement speed talent. He's a super fast and super annoying hero to deal with. However, you've got the Prophet and the Queen of Pain and the Morph. All of these heroes are, even Earthshaker's going to buy a Blink. So all of these heroes should be able to play this game at a very high pace. These are going to be really exciting team fights, I think.
I'm a little bit worried that the Shaker might get a little bit of a late Blink here. That's my only thing. They have a pretty greedy lineup so far with the Shaker and the Nature's Prophet as a position 5. But if they can use the Earth Shaker well, get the Prophet TP in on top, get some early kills, he should be okay. I think they need, at the moment on Serenity, I think they need some burst damage here. They have this Mirana and Gyro that are both going to scale pretty well. They need a tempo controller that can, especially against the Morphling, they need something that can really bring him down quickly.
Yeah, they're definitely lacking that burst. I mean, you've got the Bane Mirana setup, but is that going to be enough? Like, if he gets that strength morph off, then this Morphling is going to be very, very hard to bring down. I completely see where you're coming from with that. So Serenity now with their last pick. I'm guessing they're going to want a mid laner, although Mirana could be a mid. I don't really know how these guys are going to lane this.
The thing is, it's still open. I think when you pick Bane Mirana, you probably want to put them in the same lane. Obviously, you can put the Mirana mid. You have the Bane rotate in, use the Nightmare, set up for the arrow, which is nice, but I feel like you're not utilising the strengths of these two heroes together if you don't put them in the same lane early on. What do Newbee need though? I mean, I would assume it's going to be a Nature's Prophet position 5. Yeah.
All right. Apparently they need the Enigma.
This is. I feel like a lot of this game is on SCCC though, on this Queen of Pain, to really get things done like we mentioned before. I think he has to play the map really quickly. He has to have a good laning stage, and try and come online really quickly because this Enigma doesn't. It's not a normal space maker. We see this you know, they get these typical off lanes where they get things done, they pressure lanes and such. You know, Enigma needs that farm. He needs to come online. And I'm really interested to see if he actually builds a Crimson Guard early on. Like goes for the Aura kind of build with the Pipe Crimson instead of the big BKB route. I think that's, especially against the Gyrocopter, I think that's a really good idea for him this game.
For sure. But right now, this seems like a horrible game for IO to be relocating into because we've already talked about the mobility. Kills are going to be hard to lock down and get. And now on top of that, you're going to have an Earthshaker hiding in the tree lines with the Blink Echo available. You're going to have an Enigma now threatening you with that Black Hole as well. There's so many things that which Serenity have to be careful of now. I feel like that's what Newbee are trying to do here. They're trying to basically just say, hey, Serenity, you want to move around the map? You want to pull off this combo? Well, here's 2 heroes which you are going to struggle to do this against. So I like what they're doing. And I'm excited to see if it works for them because it's a little bit different.
I think this Serenity draft comes online a lot quicker though. I think this game is on them to make things happen. Try and, you know, really get on top of this morph early on. You know, shut him down. I like the DK pick. I think it's really good. They need lockdown for this morph. I think that's the most important thing. The only really hard lockdown they have is this Fiend's Grip at the moment, you know, the Nightmare as well. So they need to make up for that. Obviously, they have a tower pusher now, so they can take objectives with the DK. I think this is, yeah, it lanes up pretty well against the Queen of Pain as well. It's kind of just like a trade farm lane, almost.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty then, well, both teams full up as we pick up that Dragon Knight on Serenity for the final pick for them, that nice kind of safe mid laner. Newbee versus Serenity. Going off these drafts, I like what Newbee are trying to do, but as you said, I think it's just a little bit too greedy. They're trying to fill up their pockets a bit too much here. I'm not entirely sure Serenity are going to actually let them do that, especially with these IO Gyro combos. We've seen them like being much more active around the map a lot earlier than some other cores have been. So I do fear for Newbee, but I'm interested to see how they can pull this one off.
Yeah, IO Gyro is a classic at the moment, isn't it? But although you say that, but I'm really interested to see how they make this Morph work against the Gyro. Obviously, it's that classic counter where you turn into the Gyro, you get the flat cannon, turn back into the Morph, and you just, you know, clean through people. But it sounds really great on paper, but can they make it work? Can they, like you say, can they make the space for the Morph? Can they get this blink on the Shaker at a good time? It's interesting.
It's a big ask, isn't it?
I think XCJ on this Bane is going to have it's a really important game for him as well. He needs to be making a lot of space on the map, setting up these relocates, especially early on. You know, they want that level 6 at a good time on the Bane.
Alrighty, let's get into it. Game number 1, and we have Newbee versus Serenity. As GGG and Zinq head down to this bottom lane. No surprises there in the Mirana and the Bane up at top. Is this a good lane? The Bane Mirana. I know these guys are fantastic roaming partners, but in terms of a lane, it's still pretty good, right? They're going to be able to put a decent amount of pressure onto this Morphling.
Yeah, it's still very good. They have lots of kill potential as well with the Nightmare into the arrow. You know, Morphling has to be careful not to morph full agi all the time here, because he can get picked off very easily. But he has the Faith Nature's Prophet with him. You know, this is really good support. Bane is normally like a classic lane support. You know, you bully. Get a lot done, but against the Nature's Prophet it can be difficult to deal with these trees.
Well, a bit of action happening around the map as there's a bit of contention going on for these runes. Some trees being set up at the top lane as Mirana chases her tail. Thank you for that. Yeah, Enigma does have a Mantle of Intelligence. And wow, that's a lot of mangoes. This guy's getting this 5 a day. Oh, actually, that's only 4 mangoes. Do tangos count as your 5 a day? Are tangos a vegetable?
Good question. I wish I could answer that.
Well, I guess there'd be a fruit of anything because they got seeds. But yeah, I don't even know what tangos are though. Really. I like berry. I don't know. Dota's a crazy place.
I like this mango build though. You know, he hasn't got any clarities, so he's gone for the mango build instead. You need to get that demonic conversion mana going, especially early on. Probably see him. Yeah, he's rushing that Soulwing first. Yeah,
and also versus this Gyrocopter, you know he's going to be using that flat cannon to cancel those clarities, right? So, screw it, I'll just get mangoes instead. And cancel what now? GGG.
I think this is a really interesting ward from the Radiant side, though, on this bottom rune. They really want to spot this Shaker rotating mid. So that's the purpose of this ward here.
Right. On the high ground. Of course, helps a DK out a little bit to get those breathe fires off correctly if Queen of Pain's ever on the high ground or anything like that. So we have a bit of trade going. So Queen of Pain is kind of like a lane dominator, right? She wants to take control of the lane, and that's kind of what DK lanes pretty well against, right? Oh, going for the courier. SCCC finds it. ZYD. You got to be more careful than that when you got a Queen of Pain against you in lane.
Yeah, you have to be really careful when you're playing against Queen of Pain. She, obviously, like you just saw, she can just blink forward, take the courier, especially early on. You know, there's a lot of team gold there that they've just given away on Serenity, so got to be more careful.
Meanwhile, YX's just taking the creep wave here on the Earthshaker in the bottom lane, just dragging it right behind. Wondering if he's going to give this to the Enigma. Yeah, he will.
Oh, he's messed up a little bit there, though. He actually didn't grab most of the creep wave there with the...
I think that's okay, though, because you take the one range creep, that range creep's going to die, and now the lane's going to push in your favor, right?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just surprised that he didn't try to pull it to the whole creep wave. Yeah, you see this Radiant Water, they see the Shaker. They know something's going on here. They've got to be careful of his kill potential.
That Queen of Pain cosmetic is really weird. Like, you just got flies flying around you? I don't know. I don't like it. Golden flies as well. ZYD is dropping low, and you can kind of feel like CCC wants to go for this one. Yeah, he's fine. He's Dragon Knight, right?
Yeah, he's okay. The thing is, like with this dagger as well, it stops him being able to salve, so he can't do anything to this creep wave now while he's got the dagger on him because he's so low.
Yeah. I just want SCCC to just jump into the trees. He's gonna know when the no, okay. I thought he was gonna know when the dagger ends and then jump into the trees and try and go for the kill, or at least cancel the salve, but that did not happen. But Earthshaker's coming in though. They might try and make something happen onto ZYD here because they've got this double damage on the Quap.
They saw him coming though.
The plan, Newbee.
ZYD knows something's up here. He just has to be really careful with his positioning. I say that, okay.
Okay, gets put out. It's taken a lot to bring him down, but it's slow, it's painful, but they will get the kill. Whew, that was a slow burner.
Yeah, I feel like Newbee are a team that really like playing this SCCC. They like kill potential in the mid lane. This is a thing they've done for a long time where, like, you know, they give SCCC this area where if they rotate somebody in, they do have really good kill potential.
Yeah, I mean, SCCC is basically like the backbone of Newbee, I feel.
Ooh, volley.
Yeah, she's just getting stunned up a little bit here, but there's very little kill potential to actually be offered by this Enigma and this Earthshaker, especially with Zinq still nearby. And there's a Blink Dagger finished up on the Enigma as well, so that's going to help out his lane quite a bit. I love how they played this lane as well, just kind of like messing with the creep equilibrium so well. You know they can't really contest the gyro just because he's got this IO with him, so he's a huge threat.
Yeah, when you play this Enigma, you can't pressure the lane in the same way that you normally do with off lanes. You just have to keep the creep wave, you know, in a sensible position. Just farm up on this Enigma. Like we said, I think it's up to this Queen of Pain to really, you know, be the space creator.
Ooh, look at this pull from Zinq. Oh, doesn't quite pull it off. He's doing it with the balls though. That was nearly amazing until he only got one creep. Doesn't quite pull it off. Oh yeah. I didn't see what I did. So let's look at some CS. I think that's sensible. 18 CS on the Morphling. 18 and 9 right now. Meanwhile, the Gyro is at 20 and 6. So everything's really pretty close up here. You've got all kind of. But then again, the Enigma's kind of the one guy who's just not doing quite as well as the rest of the pack. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty equal in all lanes.
I think this top lane's the big worry for Newbee at the moment. You know, when you have this Nature's Prophet position 5, you really want to be bullying the lane. Obviously, this Morales CS is a little bit, you know, a little bit different because you have the tree ant kills as well.
Of course, yeah.
But,
yeah.
I think they would have liked to have had this lane go a little bit better with a Nature's Prophet up here, but you have to be wary of this Nightmare into Arrow combo.
Shaker waiting around a bot again. And Courier's being pinged out as well.
I'm surprised he didn't go for that with the Enchant Totem.
What, the kill?
Yeah, on the Courier.
It's his Courier. Wait, is it? Oh no, it's not his Courier.
It's not.
You're right. They've seen him though. And he will take a friendly wisp to the face.
Ooh, top lane as well, Faith.
Oh, he's getting low under the tower. PYW does find the kill, but XCJ does die in return, so 1 kill apiece. Happy cause. Cause just killing off supports. It's a brutal world, Dota 2.
I mean, this Morphling's the key hero for Newbee here, though. Like, if he's getting if he's having a good time, then he should be happy, and any kill he can get early on in the game is really beneficial for him.
Yeah. All eyes on Morph right now. But SCCC as well, like, if he's got to have a good start so that he can make the space for the Morphling, but he's having a pretty good time so far.
Yeah, he's having a really good time in this mid lane. It's, the thing is that you can't really stop the DK from farming. Like, he's hit this level 6 now, so just starts. He has a siege creep in the mid lane, so he's just going to start tapping away at the tower.
Yep. And don't forget they did get first blood as well. So despite the CS being a little bit, well, I say a little bit behind there, they actually draw equal now. But they also got the kill onto ZYD as well, so bit of an advantage for SCCC here.
The thing is, they have to get that kill early on, because when he starts getting pointed in this Dragon's Blood on the D.
Zinq dropping low. Weaxi does get the kill there. Nice rotations in from the Earthshaker.
Yeah, this Earthshaker's farming pretty well, actually. He's having a decent time. He has the Tranquil Boots and 550 gold already. So.
Done well. You just buy a wand. Oh, okay, buys wand, some clarities. Wants to be useful. I think he knows that this blink is going to be late whatever he does, so just going for those utility items so he can be more and more useful throughout this this early mid scenario.
Yeah, I've been seeing more of the brown boots into Blink Rush recently in games, but I think he can get away with the Tranquils here. It's, they're not going to be able to fight around this, and until the Enigma gets items anyway. So just be a little bit more greedy.
I love how XCJ just knows he's going to be like beaten up by these two heavy right clickers, so he just goes. Well, he did have Tango's healing salve, magic stick, and he has just burnt through his last Tango. So really needing the regen in this lane.
Yeah, I think he's likely to pick up a Quelling Blade this game as well. This is something we see from Bane players where they get the Quelling Blade to go through the trees to set for the Fiend's Grip, but it's really good against the Nature's Prophet as well, being able to escape from that Sprout.
Yep. Sprout is it's kind of annoying for them, I guess. But the IO can always get rid of those trees. I don't know, when you tether to somebody from a distance, does it destroy everything in the tether's path or just around you?
Just when you reach there at the end.
Right, okay. So just around you when you reach there?
Yeah.
Okay. So in theory, could you get someone out of trees with that?
You could.
Okay, okay.
But it sounds so easy, but in practice...
Yeah.
it's a little bit more
difficult. A lot of things, especially when he just wants to be tethered to Dry the whole time. Fisher out in the mid lane as they get this D ward. So ZYD forced back once again on the DK. Oh, he's actually going to go jungle or shrine? He's going to go shrine? Yeah, he's going to go shrine.
Yeah, SCCC gets this DD in the top rune area as well, so they actually don't see this on Serenity. They have to be a little careful here.
Bring the Keeler, phase boots, and a wand on GGG here. So yeah, doing okay. Doing okay. 290 gold. What's good coming out in the courier actually? Oh, he's got a bracer on the courier as well. Okay, going for that drums build, I think.
Yeah, I'm interested to see whether he goes straight, for the drums into the BKB, or whether he builds a Maelstrom next instead. And when you have this IO partnering, especially when you get the Aghanim Scepter upgrade when the Wisp gets level 15, it makes the Maelstrom so much more effective.
Top lane, down goes Mugi. But the return is coming in from SCCC as XCJ should hit the deck here. One right click does do the job. Meanwhile, the Mariah just TP's out. She's out of this one. Did you TP or did she just leap away? Wasn't too sure.
She TP'd away.
I thought so. My mind's not made. Oh, black hole in the bottom lane. They're going on to GGG here and just zoning out Zinq as he can't get that tether off. One more right click and they do take him down. Gyrocopter crashes to the ground and Zinq, we actually wants it, but a slightly tricky kill.
Yeah, big black hole. I like this play by the Enigma.
Dropping low.
You want to use that. You want to use that black hole as soon as you can, because.
Oh, they found Zinq here. The trees are out from Faith, and there is no tether for 1 second available. Tries to use it, but it's too late. As we actually get the kill.
This laning stage is going pretty well for Newbee, honestly. The morph has died, but he's got this Morbid Mask online now, especially with the max agility. He's going to be farming the jungle really quickly here.
ZYD is just getting the wand out to himself right now. PYW. Limping back to base after an encounter with SCCC. Barrage comes out, but SCCC will be okay.
Yeah, just battling for the bounty runes. It's, is that 2 apiece? Or is it... Oh, it's, yeah, 2 apiece on the bounty runes. So.
Even Stevens at the 10-minute mark. But 1k gold up for Newbee right now. XCJ could be in trouble here. He has got the Nightmare. And they're actually turning around to Faith. Nature's Prophet dropping very low here. PYW will find that kill. So gank gone wrong a little bit. And now they've got the Fiend's Grip as well. They're just going to drop it onto the Enigma. But XCJ will fall. But it doesn't matter. They get the kill onto the Enigma anyways.
Yeah, that's really nice by XCJ. He just hit level 6 with the kill onto the Nature's Prophet. So.
Follow up. Meanwhile, PYW in trouble as Mugi comes in. Now stealing that Marauder form and jumping in to get the kill. Nicely done there by Mugi.
Oh, it's such a good morph game. Mugi must be so happy, like, to be able to play Morph against all these heroes. You know, the Mirana tries to run away, you just turn into her and just leap 3 times and kill her anyways. So.
Yep, taking too much damage, turn into ZYD, and all of a sudden you are a tanky DK. In the middle lane, CCC here taking quite a bit of damage, but does have the Fairy Fire to pop off, so should be alright. ZYD's got no catch anyways.
Look at all this newbie vision in the bot jungle though. Yeah, they're going to utilise this here. They're going to go on the mid lane.
Yep, moving it on to ZYD, but XCJ is here, and Shaker throwing out the stun as GGG and Zinq come in, and down goes Weaxi. Alright, good response there from Serenity.
That's the first relocate kind of like gank we've seen. It's, they need to use this early on to try and make space. Yep. You know, get things done. We've said that in the draft, you know, it's really important. Serenity, they control the tempo of this game with the lineup that they have.
And they just use that relocate, and they get the tower at mid. Now they get the tower at top as well. So, gonna be happy with that one, I think. And they get the kill onto the Earthshaker as well.
Yeah, really important to delay that blink timing as long as you can. It's, especially when you're playing Wisp Gyro. You know, these obviously with the tether, you want to be paired up close to each other, so you have to be very wary of this blink echo slam coming out.
And Faith actually has himself an urn on the Nature's Prophet, Brown Boots urn. That's interesting. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, when you have the global TP, you're going to be involved in so many kills. It makes the urn really worthwhile.
The logic does check out. Yeah.
Oh, top lane.
Yep, we're going here onto GGG, and the Wisp can't seem to keep him alive as he trapped him by those treants and brought down by Faith.
Another urn charge.
Another urn charge, yeah, value.
The thing is, it's really important you get this Vessel online early. It's really good against the Wisp, it's really good against the DK. I think it's really good against Gyrocopter as well. All these heroes that do spread damage like the Luna and the Gyro. Yeah, the Vessel's really worthwhile against them. You know, they like to build the lifesteal.
Yeah, absolutely. And top lane is now going to be threatened by Newbee. I'll see if Serenity has a response to this. They are rotating heroes in, so they want to defend this one as the Starstorm comes down. The Helm of the Dominator creep from Enigma being chunked away a little bit, but he's going to survive. Don't want to give away that 200 gold too easily.
Yeah, good Fisher there, just to break up the possible initiation from Bane.
And Serenity just seem to be wanting to farm this game. They just kind of want to get some items up, hit some timings. Going for the Maelstrom actually on the Gyrocopter as well.
Oh, so he did go back for the Maelstrom, okay. The thing is, I don't know if they can like really make things happen when he gets that BKB. Like early on in this game, I mean. So I think going for the Maelstrom first is fine. I think the big power spike for them is when this Wisp gets level 15. You enable the Gyro so much more.
Yeah, the Aghanim's talent is going to be huge for him. So everybody else it works really well with. I guess you can get some brain cells going on with Bane, but that sounds particularly underwhelming. And some Starstorm charges on Mirana would be all right, I guess. But yeah, definitely the Gyro is the number one Aghanim's target this game.
Yes. I think this is a really good read of the map here by Newbee. They knew something was going on here on this top side of the map, so they all start to play bot side. They just completely avoid the smoke gank. It's really nice here. They're going to look to group up here. They have the black hole available, so look to try and take a fight here.
Yep, big threat. And it does actually look like Enigma's going for that Helm of the Dominator into Blink Dagger build, which isn't what we expected, but I do like it. And Arrow nicely dodged there by the Enigma. Good, you know, you don't want to give Mirana the Helm of the Dominator creep, so if you do build that Helm of the Dominator, you're kind of saying to guys, don't worry. Like, it's not going to get arrowed. I'm not going to just feed the Mirana 200 gold every time it's up.
I think they have to be really careful about how they use this Fiend's Grip as well, because that's the only real thing they have a way of...
XCJ fighting it up. And there's a black hole. Oh, he gets both the IO and the Gyro in this one. As the combo comes down from Newbee. That is too much damage for Serenity as they lose their Gyro, they lose their IO, and down goes ZYD as well. Serenity, they do get the Enigma kill at least, but XCJ picked off as well, and SCCC. Oh, the Echo Slam followed up by the Scream there just did so much damage. The Sonic Wave tearing through them.
Yeah, really nice. Mugi managed to do morph into the Gyro there as well, so got the flat cannon available to him. So much burst damage, you know, so much spread damage coming out as well with the black hole, with the Sonic Wave as well.
Yeah, what happened? Like, Serenity just melted in that fight. They were like, Yeah, we want to go take a fight. Like, oh, Newbee used Black Hole. Excellent. Now let's go. Oh. Oh, we're all dead. Oh, dear.
Yeah, they tried to relocate into the back lines to be able to pick somebody off, but just set up the Black Hole so nicely.
It was kind of awkward as well because they were kind of coming around this corner here. So the sight was really odd from both teams as well, and I think Newbee just had the better advantage coming around that corner.
And they're just going to wait here now. I think Newbee just have to be patient now and wait for the cooldowns again.
Yeah, I think Serenity really want to force something here because, like, as you say, these cooldowns are really, really important for Newbee. That's Black Hole. That is Echo Slam. That is Sonic Wave. You know, now Newbee just want to hang back. You know, they've taken their tier 2. They took a good team fight. So yeah, 2k gold advantage, which isn't huge, but they're feeling pretty good because a lot of that gold is on Mugi.
I like that the Enigma's changed his item build as well. He's actually going for the Crimson Guard now. He's got queued up. I was going to say just before that fight started, I'd be really surprised if he didn't build the Crimson next. Like, it's so good against this gyrocopter.
XCJ hanging around with an Invis rune, seeing what there is to see. Hello, Mugi. Or the Watcher in the night.
He has Fiend's Grip in 10 seconds, and they have the relocate in 15 as well. So
Mugi knows something's up, though. He's being a cautious kitty. Okay, now they go throw down the Nightmare. They're going to relocate for this one. They are not actually, as XCJ backs himself up. There's 2 TPs coming in. Arrow does connect, but Serenity are out of there.
He actually got the Strength morph off before the Nightmare came out, so really difficult to kill him there.
Quite impressive from Mugi. Like, did not have, like... How do you even do that? Like, he was invis.
Good question. He's just a player, dude. He's a great player.
He is a great player, yeah. Yeah, he is a great player, I'll give you that.
I feel like Mugi's been getting a lot of flack at the moment recently for Newbee. No, they didn't qualify for the minor, they didn't qualify for the major.
Wow, SCCC just gets arrowed and killed in the mid lane.
Yeah,
okay.
The Dragon Tail's such a good setup for the arrow as well. So
oh, the Blink Dagger reveal from ZYD, okay. I saw something happen in the mid lane, I was like, oh, it's the Queen of Pain, you know, I'm just going to look at the morph and let Mo Farah finish his point. And then, yeah, then SCCC goes and dies on me, so thanks for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like Mugi's getting a lot of hate at the moment for Newbee, you know, considering they didn't qualify for the major, didn't qualify for the minor. So, but he's proving a point here. He's doing really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Be exciting if you know, to see them play against the likes of Asta, because Asta were the qualifiers for Kuala Lumpur, right?
Yes, they played very well.
So they're the ones to watch. But right now, I don't know. I mean, this game is looking like it's in Newbee's hands, but at the same time, it's not convincing by any stretch. You know, they just killed SCCC solo in the middle lane, and Mugi is falling behind the Morana a little bit.
The thing is, like, the Radiant Cores are farming better, but the Dire supports are scaling really well. Like, the Shaker has his blink up now. The Nature's Prophet's almost got the Vessel. So, it's not just about the cores this game. I feel like the supports are, especially this Earthshaker blink reveal, is going to be a massive deal.
Talking of which, smoke popped, and the instant echo down onto the Miranda, but there's a Fiend Script coming through from XCJ. Leap away from PYW. Can they down Earthshaker? Yes, they can. He's going to drop Serenity. Turn that gank around. Now they find more actually as they jump here onto Faith and PYW coming forwards, and that is going to be a dead Nature's Prophet. Disaster strikes for Newbee as they try to go for a kill with that blink reveal, as you said, and it goes horribly wrong. That was an echo as well.
Yeah, not the best blink reveal, I'll be honest. You know,
so what were your words a couple of seconds ago? A lot's going to depend on this blink reveal from the Earthshaker.
Yeah, it happens. You know, they don't see behind the Morana, so maybe they thought she was by herself. It's really difficult to know. And so the Earthshaker just commits so hard to be able to kill that Morana and gets punished.
Yep.
Wow, they actually smoke up again.
Slapped down. Alright, they're feeling it. I mean, there's no Echo Slam. It's a good time for them to fight.
They really want to get Vision down as well here in the bot lane. So
they have the Fiend's Grip up again? No, they just used it in the last fight.
Yeah,
so a bit of a vision advantage they're trying to get themselves now, and going up this high ground, and yeah, Enigma's just gonna pop it, ready to go. Scouts out with his creep. There you go. That's not good. Oh, they get the sleep off though. XCJ coming round the back with the positioning. The Fisher does come through, and they turn around with the Black Hole. He gets it onto 2. Bane and ZYD both held down here as they blow up XCJ, and now ZYD's going to fall as well. Newbee coming in, but PYD jumping into the middle of it all. Do they have the damage? The Sonic Wave is through. Mugi staying alive though. PYW will fall. Now the Gyrocopter taking the damage as well. He's going to drop. Io does get himself away with that relocate timer, but everybody else is dead on the side of Serenity, and Newbee take a wonderful, wonderful fight up here on their high ground.
A big fight there for Mugi. Again, manages to morph into the gyrocopter, just waveforms into the middle of absolutely everybody. They know when this Bane is dead, and when the DK goes down, he has absolutely nothing to fear. He can just freely get this morph off, so he just waveforms into the middle, gets this flat cannon damage going while he uses the morph, and
has a great time.
Melted by Serenity.
Had a great time. Mugi's loving life right now.
They didn't even use Echo in that fight as well. Like, it's up in 25 seconds. So
yeah, I mean they have the other threats though. They've got the black hole. When you got 2 cooldowns to work with, and that's what we were talking about before in like the drafting phase about, you know, this gyro IO combo is kind of difficult to pull off into these big cooldowns.
Yeah, it can be difficult, but I feel like Serenity aren't doing enough on the map. Like, they have 2 really good relocate setups, and they're not abusing that at the moment, I feel like. You know, they've got this DK, they've got the Bane. You know, they can just go around and try and, you know, find these kills, these solo pickoffs. What level's the Wisp? Is he almost there? He's almost 13.
Getting there. It's a slow burn, but he's getting there.
I think this gyro BKB is a big thing for Serenity as well. They need to get this online and try and take a fight ASAP. Because if they don't win a fight with this, you know, gyro BKB reveal, then I think it's going to be a long game for them. Especially with how this Morphling scale is going into the late game. Yeah, and I love that Mugi's going for this BKB as well. Definitely shouldn't be afraid to fight here on the Morphling when you're against this gyrocopter.
Very defensive though with the BKB and the Lincoln Sphere. Mugi kind of just I don't want to take spells.
Well, the thing is though that when you can morph into the gyro every time, he's the kind of damage anyway. So you can afford to be a little bit more defensive here on Mugi.
Also, Bane is horrible at breaking Lincoln Spheres, which sounds really weird because he's got a bunch of castable spells, but his cast times are so long that any like good Morphling can just be like, okay, yeah, my Lincoln's is popped. You got more than enough reaction time because Bane has to basically perform like a full demonic rite before he casts any spell. He's got to like wave his hands in the air and say a little prayer and do some other stuff.
Yeah, this is
not
Mugi,
quick.
TI7 finalist. You got to give him the respect. Oh.
Only brown boots and a magic wand. And blink up onto the high ground, onto the Earthshaker here. If they can take this guy down, yes they can. The stun does follow through. Now Faith in trouble as well as the Nature's Prophet will just go down. But Mugi jumping into it all, trying to bring down CQ with the damage. But Mugi's taking a lot of damage, and GGG just sitting on the front lines as Morana is ripping through everybody. Mugi in trouble. Is he going to get brought down? Oh, the waveform, but ZYT is there. And now the arrow comes through onto the Enigma as well. Just clean up one of the few surviving members.
Yeah,
so there's a buyback from the Earthshaker as well to achieve nothing, and that's a lot of pings.
Yeah, it's really difficult for Newbee to take fights when the Shaker's the one that gets initiated on first. They dropped this sentry, so they were trying to get the D-ward off, but not going to happen, unfortunately. Like he is the initiation for Newbee, especially when this Enigma doesn't have blink. You know, he's gone for this aura build instead, so has to walk in to get the black hole. And that's the BKB reveal from the gyro though. This is what I mean, they have to get something done with that. The fights are only going to get harder. The thing is that they win this fight on Serenity, but they haven't really achieved anything from it. Like, they haven't got any objectives.
So, coming forward, Bane could be in trouble here. Newbee. Oh, that is a haste rune and a half. See you later, guys. I'm off.
It must feel so good as a position 5 when there's just a nice haste rune in front of you.
Yeah.
Sayonara.
Gyrocopter now going for the butterfly. That's a lot of speed for the IO, right? Like drums butterfly with a talent. He's gonna be spinning around all over the place.
On the morph, yeah, it's
on the gyro.
On the gyro, sorry. Not sure about this butterfly. I thought he would build more tanky and go for something like a Skadi.
Okay.
But I think they realise that he needs to be the one scaling this game. You know, they've got this the Wisp level 15, sorry now, so they're probably not going to be able to end the game anytime soon. So I think the butterfly's okay.
Yeah, I don't really know how you I get it. Well, the butterfly might give him enough to burst through the morph, maybe, but it seems unlikely. The morph has very much been like the final target, the last chip on the plate, as it were.
But the thing is, if you look at Newbee's heroes, though, they really don't want to be building MKB. And like the morphling MKB feels so weird having to build. You really want to be building stats on this hero, like the Scardy and such. Your own butterfly as well.
Platter, would you say?
Yeah, Lincoln's BKB gives you some nice stats, good HP.
Oh, Crimson Guard popped. Okay.
Why not?
When in Rome.
You should pretend you didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah. What's your opinion on the term stats platter? Because that's one thing I've heard a couple of people use. And I'm always like, is that really?
Say stat platter.
Stats platter. Yeah, I think I've heard BSJ use it before, and I'm not too sure which. But somebody used to say it a lot, like stats platter, when you just get a bunch of stats on one hero.
Stat platter. I've never heard that term.
You haven't heard that? Am I making things up again?
Possibly.
All right.
I mean, you're probably not. It's just me being, me being me.
You don't know the hip new Dota lingo. No, this was a long time ago that stats platter. I'm sure some people did say stats platter. Anyway. Moving on, as Serenity come up the high ground here with the blink initiation from ZYD. They've got the vision. Now they've got the target. They go straight away onto the Enigma. BKB using the arrow to follow up as well. The Enigma is not going to survive this one. GGG with a BKB with ZYD as well as Moogie comes down onto the high ground. Can't find any kills though. And that was very awkward actually. They just blow up the Enigma. Now Moogie could be in trouble. There's a Fiend Script as well. Oh, Morphling. It's all over for you. Well, Newbee, again, losing to Serenity looking good right now.
Yeah, really nice play by DK there. Just absolutely fearless on ZYD. Just blinks up to the high ground.
And hello, Mr. Roshan. Oh, cheeky kill onto the IO. Down the bottom lane.
Yeah, he used the relocate to get into the fight, so they punished him there in the bot lane. That was nice. They got the return kill at least.
It's something, isn't it?
This is really unfortunate for Newbee as well, because they really want their lineup is very good at fighting around the pit, with the Echo, with the Black Hole. So the fact that they can't take that fight there because they lost the fight just before is not great for them, I'll be honest. Yeah, see, I told you, look at this gyrocopter.
Yep.
Scardy.
So smart. So smart.
Oh, they got the arrow into the top lane onto the Earthshaker.
He's dropping low, but the Sonic Wave doing a bit, but Earthshaker cannot survive. And now the Black Hole, they got Gyrocopter, and they got the DK in this one. Can they follow up though? Doe goes the Aegis. XCJ is going to be the next target for Newbee as Moogie comes into this one and finishes the job onto that Bane. Now the BKB pop from Newbee. Really wants to bring down GGG here.
Oh, good net.
Oh, yeah, but the arrow, well, it just takes out the Troll. And Moogie taking a lot of damage from this Mirana and this Gyro. And up onto the high ground, but ZYD just dies for this. ZCC coming forwards, and down goes Faith, just too far on the front lines. Now Moogie trying to back out of this one, realizing that things have gone south. And so will he. Woo, going for Agi. I don't like it when he does that. All right, he's got the flat cannon, but he will die if he sticks around too long.
Yeah, they really want to make something happen here. The Gyro has no BKB now for a little while, so
they found SCCC in the trees. Newbee want to fight this one as the trees come out onto GGG, but broken away by Q. There it is. He broke the trees with the tether. Let's wait for that the whole game. He finally does it. Great job, Q. I'm proud of you.
Do you know one of the most interesting things I think from Chinese Dota in terms of roster shuffles is not necessarily a roster shuffle, but the fact that Zinky's moved from offlane to position 4 this year.
Yeah.
It's interesting. He's making it work really well. They've Serenity have been performing pretty well so far this season.
Well, pause out from Serenity, just fixing some issues. Who's your favourite Chinese player? Personality.
Oh, FY. I think FY and X Nova are my two favourites. I'm not sure if I can
say X Nova.
If I can choose between them, but
is he Chinese? Well, I guess he plays in China.
I mean, X Nova's Malaysian, but yeah. I think in terms of if it's a Chinese player, definitely FY. That man's an absolute god. he's insane. I still go back sometimes and watch his Rubik clip where he's against the Phoenix and the. Do you remember that one?
I'm not sure I do.
Walk
me through it. Take me there. Use the magic of storytelling to transport us all to this magical world.
I can't remember what game, what tournament he was playing in. But he's stealing the egg. He can steal the Requiem as well. It was such an amazing game. If nobody's seen that, you should definitely go and watch the FY Rubik play. I'm sure if you're just typing FY Rubik onto YouTube, you'll probably find it.
What's some of the best? I mean, LGD not winning TI, I think, is a big blow for Chinese, but they've got it in the home turf next year, so maybe that's going to give them the advantage they need to break the East-West curse. Well, the East-West curse is already broken, but back into this game as Newbee looking to reclaim this gold advantage.
They did use that Aegis in the top fight as well, so they just picked it up online. They can't pressure any objectives now with that Aegis, which is a big win for Newbee. Just trying to extend the game as long as they can, get this Morphling online.
I can't remember who it is I was talking to, but I was talking to a pro player and they were saying the Chinese are very bad at buying BKBs, which is obviously a very bold and sweeping statement. It was a pro player, I can't remember which pro player. And we've seen a lot of BKBs this game. Like, I think the DK, the Murana doesn't have one, but the DK and the Gyro have both been basically just trying to win these fights. Like, they're putting so much emphasis on these mid-game fights this game, and they brought out these BKBs. Is this a good time to buy the BKB?
I feel like, yeah, like the power spikes for Serenity is when they get their BKBs online. They get this first Aegis, they try and pressure towers, but unfortunately that hasn't gone, as well as hoped for them.
It's gone pretty well, but I mean it's such a close game though. Like, a 4k goal advantage for Newbee at one stage, and that's as high as we've gotten, and now we're back in Serenity's territory, so very, very close. And coming into the late game, I really don't know who's got this one. It's kind of Mugi versus the world. SEC just seems to have fallen off a cliff this game.
It's very much down to vision in fights. I think it's the most important thing for both teams.
Yeah.
If the Newbee get a good ward down in the fight, they can use this, Echo Sam and the Black Hole so much more effectively. It's actually patiently waiting in the bot lane here.
They are indeed. They need the quick initiation to stop them getting that BKB off, but they do have the Echo. They're gonna go for it. They're missing their opportunity.
it's so scary though. Like they don't see any of these Radiant heroes apart from the Murana in the top.
Yeah. I was really expecting them to go there, but they just, man, that is some Zen playing right there. Me and I think any other Dota player would have gone for that kill, but Newbee just showing restraint beyond what I consider humanly possible. Meanwhile, Faith gets blown up in the middle lane. Man,
I think if the Queen of Pain had the BKB in that scenario in the bot lane, he actually just picks it up. But yeah, I think if he'd have had it in that bot area, I think they would have gone for the kill. But
I think they're waiting for the IO, because IO's been playing with him this whole time, and they didn't see him, and they're just waiting to see if he comes into lane, and they can get them both with the Echo and lock down Xingqiu, save him sliding in with the quick clutch heal or something. That's my guess anyway. I don't really know what they're thinking. If I did, then I probably wouldn't be casting. I'd be playing, or analyzing, or doing something else.
This Gyro
that said, though, I do love casting, so it'd be very hard.
It is. It's very good fun. I've been really enjoying casting Chinese games recently as well. It's
yeah, you've been doing a lot with Mr. Ben Coppler, haven't you?
I have. Yeah, he's the Chinese man. I feel like at the moment. We have Moxie for South America. I feel like Ben's the Chinese guy.
What are we? What am I?
And we're just I don't know what we are.
I'm just the gooey stuff in between. I'm the concrete in between the bricks.
But it's yeah, I feel like the Chinese region is definitely taking a step up this year in terms of competitiveness. Like we've seen so many teams, like in the open qualifiers for things especially, there's so many good teams that can beat each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Chinese, it's arguably the best region to watch.
I'm a little bit disappointed they didn't get a second spot in the minor instead of North America. But BSJ gets to his land.
No, 150 gold per minute for the IO rather than the 15 health regen. Just wants to get that money.
I think they just want to scale going into this late game. That's the most important thing. They, like we said, they know they're not going to be ending this game anytime soon unless they take an amazing fight somehow. But their team fight is lacking in comparison to Newbee.
What's the point getting the 15 health regen when you can just get 150 gold per minute and buy a heart in like 2 minutes anyway?
It's
that's checked out, right?
I think if you're trying to hit a timing with your draft, when the Wisp gets level 20, you can try and win the game soon. I think the HP regen is really nice, but the GPM just helps you scale so much better.
Newbee smoke and then break it again. I don't know. I think they just saw something which rustled their jimmies.
I think they were just a little bit scared to fight here. They're waiting for some key items.
But why smoke then?
Good question.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
not sure.
Serenity now, they are going to show Newbee how to smoke properly, but, well, they're going in as 3 and they've got the relocate on the IO gyro, so ZYD spotted out, though. Newbee. They're going to throw down the trees as well, as these wards will spot each other out. Bit of tension here up at top.
One thing I would say about Faith this game and the Nature's Prophet, he's been doing a really good job of dropping wards in fights to get vision.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, you know, they need this initiation, the vision for the Echo and the Black Hole. Like if you look in this top lane, they managed to drop a ward just before that fight started before.
This game is so tense though. Like, both these teams just kind of skirting around each other. I feel like the next team fight is going to be absolutely insane and should really define everything. It's going to be a lot. Well, they actually TP a bunch of heroes back to base. These movements seem weird to me from Newbee. I'm not sure what the process is with these guys, but I'm sure they know what they're doing.
Yeah, the thing is though, it's weird because in this game, going into the late game scenario, if Newbee use all their spells properly, then they will win the fight. But going into the late game, you're up against a Mirana, Gyro, DK that are all scaling really well. You know, these heroes can all do really well in the late game in terms of, you know, dishing out damage. So Newbee have to be so careful about taking fights here. They have to have the vision advantage. They have to use their spells correctly.
Look at this wards going down from Faith as well. He wants to make sure that they're safe to be here. And now they're going to smoke up and come forward. Newbee on the hunt. Can they catch out Serenity though? That is the big question. They want to find the IO Gyro. That's like the dream, because if they get those two, then there's not going to be any relocate response to to the gank. But that is a big ask. And now the scan is going to perfectly catch out Newbee. And they just Newbee saying, yeah, never mind.
If you look at the Newbee vision on the map at the moment, though, they don't really see anything. Though it's great that they're dropping wards in these fights, but you know, you can't utilize the vision correctly. It's just for the fight, it feels like.
Yeah.
So they're so scared to make plays around the map at the moment.
Well, the Gyro, this Gyro's huge, but he's got Butterfly, BKB, Skadi, Maelstrom, MKB. This guy's balling out of control. He's IO'd up, ready to roll.
The thing, it's not just the Gyro as well.
Relocate into the top lane. They've got Enigma, and they will bring him down. Just a quick kill from Serenity. No response or follow-up from Newbee as they lose their Enigma for 64 seconds.
Are they setting up in the mid lane for the Wisp? No, okay, they're just backing off. They don't want to fight without the Enigma. It feels like Serenity are just controlling this map so well at the moment. They know they're ahead. They know they have these 3 scaling cores. I like your point about the Gyro, but it's not even just the Gyro. Like, if you look at this Mirana, she's hit so hard. She's got this MKB online now, I think. And she just picks it up. So they've got the AC on the DK. It's really difficult to fight into the Serenity lineup. And I don't think they have the burst damage to be able to kill people in the Black Hole and the Echo Slam. Which is, you know, something I said in the draft. The Queen of Pain's really nice early on, but at this point in the game, she just doesn't do enough damage.
I mean, SCCC has felt near enough ineffectual for the past 20 minutes, I would say, honestly. Like, SCC, since like 17 minutes into the game, I haven't seen anything from this Queen of Pain. I feel like this pick has not worked out well for them. Would you agree?
I would agree in a sense, but it's really difficult for him to utilise the hero here. Because normally when you play Queen of Pain, you know, you want to be playing the map quickly, you want to be split pushing and opening up the map. But especially without a Lincoln's, like they have a DK, they have a Bane, you have to be so careful.
Yeah. Yep. And careful he has been. And Newbee, that's like the #1 word I would use to describe this game from them so far, just careful, because they are not overcommitting to anything. They're just playing back. They're holding out, and I just don't know who's got this game, honestly. It's now 11k gold advantage for Serenity. Serenity definitely like taking things into their hands, and Mugi is gonna have to do a lot in these fights. Is the Morphling big enough a threat by himself? Like we just don't know.
If he manages to morph into the Gyro, I think he's a big threat.
True.
You know, that's the reason they've picked this hero in the so early on in the draft, is this counter to the Wisp Gyro. But
yeah, he
did a really good job early on. But in this, you know, kind of late game scenario, it's so difficult to be able to get in range to use that morph on the Gyro.
Yeah, and Serenity not making it easy for him by any stretch of the imagination. And Serenity probably just gonna rock high ground right now. Yep. Hello. We have an Aegis. Knock, knock, knock.
Newbee are not ready for this. They have to get back quickly here.
Yeah, SCC is TPing. They're gonna regroup. Tower's not dead yet, but it's getting there. Now here we come, jumping through. They silence up the Gyrocopter on the front lines, but he's got this Aegis and an IO to jump in and stun up the Enigma. Can they bring it down? They can't seem to, and now ZYD just gonna retreat back onto the low ground. BKBs are off, and in comes the Echo, just lands onto the DK, and now the Fiend's Grip out. We actually, it's gonna fall as initiation doesn't quite pay off from that Earthshaker.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure why he committed there. I feel like they should be quite happy there to just hold their high ground, wait for this re-siege by Serenity, and with the Shaker dead, what are they afraid of? Like, the black hole's nice, but they have the Fiend. Do they have the Fiend whip up? No, they don't. They just used it, didn't they? So, but where's the damage coming from Newbee in this black hole? Even if they get an amazing one, how are they killing people?
This is feeling very calm and considered from Serenity, and Newbee, I mean, sleep out onto the gyro and then just wake him up again. Silences out. I mean, he might drop once here, but Xinq's actually getting pretty low himself. He's going to cheese up, which is going to heal up GGG. Now Mugi popped the BKB going in onto the gyrocopter, and the gyro might well fall, though Mugi struggling to do the damage. Finally gets the kill, but now has to back himself off. He's got no BKB. Meanwhile, the backlines, PYW can just take out SCCC, so there's your mid laner gone.
Yeah, that's a vision advantage. They had the ward on the high ground that spotted SCCC.
Serenity are just playing so well right now.
They're just outscaling them. They've done really well to get this Murano, DK and Gyro all online. They played the map so well early on, splitting up the map, getting the good farm early on. And they're reaping the rewards right now.
Oh, GG held still as Mugi's taken a fair amount here. Does get stunned up as well as the multiple rockets come through, and the return rockets flying everywhere. Stun out onto the gyro, and gonna pop that BKB and come forward. Faith getting low, but not quite low enough. The arrow, oh, it does miss. Meanwhile, the barracks are pretty much just falling here. Serenity do finally decide to call it quits and back themselves off as they leave Newbee with half of their barracks remaining.
2 sets of melee racks. Definitely going to be happy with that one. Good Aegis usage this time. We talked about, the first Aegis not really doing as much as they'd hoped, but Faith might be in trouble, I think is a nice way of putting it.
Yes. We'll leave it there. Went for some bounty runes, I take it?
I assume so. The thing is, when you play this Nature's Prophet position 5, you really want to be getting these deep wards down, making plays around the map. And they haven't really been able to do that this game. It feels like the Nature's Prophet position 5 is kind of just like a lane bully here. And when its scale was okay, he got this vessel, but they're not utilising the hero in this late game scenario.
Yeah, I feel Newbee are losing their teeth. One by one, they're losing their teeth, but they do have the combo. I really don't think we should be discounting them at all. They've got the Blink BKB on the Enigma, and they've Serenity have managed to take down this Enigma at the start of every fight so far, but if they don't, they could spell trouble for them. The Wombo combo is very, very possible from Newbee.
That's true. I think killing the Shake is more important than the Enigma, though. Because I think if you can get your BKBs off on Serenity this game, I think they shouldn't be scared of anything. Like, we've talked about the lack of damage coming out from Newbee. Apart from Morphling, where's the damage coming from? Especially like when you pop your BKBs.
Yeah, but if you get flag cannon inside this black hole, it's gonna be violent.
True. But it feels
BYD
like
coming forward from the bottom lane, gonna find Faith again, blink forward, stun him up, but is there gonna be a response? Newbee thinking about it. They let Faith drop. I mean, one of the backlines, Bane silenced up. We'll keep our eyes on ZYD as he is surrounded. Nature's Prophet buying back into the game. Mugi jumps in on this, wants to take down this DK somehow. As Mugi just kites it up. SCCC is able to finish off XTJ. Oh, the deny coming through from PYW. And now the BKB, the black hole as well. He's going to get the DK and Xinq, but ZZZ doing the damage on the backlines. Takes out everybody, and Serenity just get everything. And the win as GG is called. Newbee have nothing left in the tank, and just like that, it's all over for Newbee.
It's so difficult for the Enigma this game. They're like, who does he black hole? Like, if you have to get the DK, or I think you have to get the Bane, most importantly. Luckily for him, XCJ dies at the start of the fight, so that's great. Like, he can't use the grip to cancel the black hole, but it's never this dream scenario where you get the 5-man black hole. That just doesn't happen in the high level of Dota, unless you manage to get some amazing jump. And I feel like this IO gyrocopter needs to be stopped. I'd be very surprised if Newbee didn't ban that out in the second game, the Wisp.
Look at this fancy new scoreboard we got as well. You can see the raw damage as well. That's interesting. 44k damage received by the DK, just tanking it up on the front line. Yeah, interesting stats indeed. The most interesting one is probably the Mirana's amount of damage, though. Like, PYW was the assassin this game. Like, that Mirana was just blinking around the backlines, leaping around, getting every kill she wanted.
That's the thing. Like, you think about this gyrocopter doing loads of damage in the fights, and like doing the spread damage. But Bamrano is such high, single target burst with this MKB that he just absolutely owned that game. I feel like it's a silent assassin almost on the Marana.
Absolutely, yeah. PYW kind of unsung in the backlines, 18-2, no less. Like it was a wonderful, wonderful game from BYW.
But how do you prioritize on Newbee this game in terms of who to kill? Like you have to be all these heroes. It feels like they're high priority targets.
yeah.
So
There's
hard.
no one you can be like, oh, we can leave them. Like, no, you gotta take them out or you get nothing. And yeah, nice draft from Serenity, a nice game from them as they take the first game in this best of 3 series. We'll be right back with game number 2. Do not go anywhere.
ESL One Hamburg is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Alienware, Logitech G, and Pay Safecard.